Hey, this is U.S. Representative Danny K. Davis, and I am so delighted to be back with you. I've already had a wonderful, wonderful day. I started out this morning at 8 o'clock over at Roosevelt Road and Kedzie at the magnificent McDonald's restaurant where we just had ourselves a BALL. I want to thank Mr. Atkins and the Black McDonald's Association and the McDonald's Corporation because this morning at Roosevelt Road and Kedzie, we passed out thousands of turkeys and all of the things to go with them. And people were so happy and so delighted. The crowd was just wonderful. The spirits were high. And I want to thank Mr. Atkins, the gentleman, and his family. He was the host. But it was actually the Black McDonald's Association, and he is the owner of that McDonald's restaurant right there at Kedzie and Roosevelt Road. He also has the one at Western and Washington, and he told me that he has another one at 42nd and Ashland, and I don't know what else he may have. But I can tell you that the camaraderie, the fellowship, the goodwill that I saw expressed this morning was enough to take me through the whole Thanksgiving holiday. So I want to thank him, I want to thank them, and I want to tell you that all over Chicagoland, people are trying to help make sure that the less fortunate have a good, solid Thanksgiving dinner. Tomorrow, I'm going to be with Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deere, Alderman Michael Scott, and State Representative Arthur Turner. They have a big Thanksgiving dinner for senior citizens. I'm going to be right there with them. And we are just going to have ourselves a ball, a BALL. And we're going to have turkey and dressing and all the trimmings. Alderman Emma Mitz is getting ready for her big Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. She gives away thousands of turkeys. Candidate for state representative, Gerard Moore. I'm going to be with him on Monday, and he's got 500 turkeys that he's giving away for Thanksgiving. My church, the New Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, we are having our Thanksgiving dinner on tomorrow. Anybody in the neighborhood of Laramie and Lake Street, if you just want to have some turkey and dressing and goodwill and all of that stuff, come on by. I don't really eat much turkey. I'm not a great big turkey fan, but I just love that cornbread dressing and a little, what's that sauce? Cranberry sauce. And so I'm going to have myself a great time. So find some place in the Salvation Army, Pacific Gardens Mission, all kind of people, Character Centenary, African Methodist Episcopal Church. Everybody eat turkey. The People's Church of the Harvest. Lord, have mercy. Poor turkeys. I just feel sorry for them because people are going to be gobbling them up. Let's go to the phone and see what we've got. Caller, are you there?
Good evening, Dr. Davis, U.S. Representative of the 7th District again. I'm going to be real quick. I've been listening to the impeachment hearings, and I think only one thing going to break those Republicans to come over and vote in the Senate to impeach the president. Everybody's testimony was incredible, and I find it to be...
Well, let me ask you, say incredible. Do you think it was the truth? Because I think the important thing about testimony is if you're telling the truth.
All except for one person had to come back before the committee at least 3 times. And I think what's going to break those Republicans in the Senate that are going to come over and vote, if you can get one of those 3 guys, the president don't want to testify immunity. And if they get immunity and they don't testify, they can go to jail. They need to have one of those 3 guys, and I've been saying this for the longest, it's always supposed to be country before party. Now, once they hear from one of those 3 guys that would say, hey, the president said this, that pro quo, whatever they way they want to put it, I think that's going to really go to seal the deal.
Well, I hope that truth will prevail. Dr. Martin Luther King often would quote James Russell Lowell and say he was right when he said that truth on the scaffold,
true,
wrong forever on the throne. Yet that scaffold sways the future, and beyond the dim unknown standeth God, keeping watch over his own. Truth crushed to the earth shall rise again. And so truth has to be the factor that we look at more than anything else.
I'll make this one last comment. I think it may be a little bit cruel if you get one of those 3 guys under fear of going jail, and in the back of their mind, they wind up getting in jail. They better hope they don't they don't grab out a collar and get them in the shower, and hope nobody don't make them swallow. That's going to make them tell. That's going to make them seem like one of the temptations to talk about put them in jail.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your call. I trust that you're going to eat as much turkey as you can handle and all of the stuff that goes along with it. But what's important is to be with your family, have the camaraderie, the fellowship, and the spirit of Thanksgiving wherever you are. Thank you so much, and we'll take our next caller. All right, I saw something flash, but that's all right. We don't have to have a caller. Let me tell you, we've got so many things lined up that are happening. We've got town hall meetings all over the place. We have one coming up with Alderman Stephanie Coleman out in the 16th Ward. We have a political education meet and greet coming up. I've got something out in Downers Grove tonight. We've got every kind of thing happening that you can imagine. Lord have mercy. I'm going to be over with Alderman Lopez tomorrow. They have their big Thanksgiving feast in the 25th Ward, and they may even have some tacos to go along with it. Rainbow Push has got Bobby Rush Day tomorrow. We've got a Veterans Thanksgiving luncheon. I'm going to that one. We got a Thanksgiving dinner at New Galilee. We got the Jesus Outreach Church giveaway out in Hillside, Illinois. The Lord have mercy. People are just doing so much stuff. Monday, we've got the grand opening of the Community Resource Center at Mercy Hospital out on South Michigan with Castle. And That is the Chinese American Service League. We got a turkey giveaway at 335 South Sacramento at 12 o'clock. Oh my goodness, we got a big going away party for Dr. Robert Wynn, who is a physician at the University of Illinois. He's changing universities. He's the director of the Cancer Center, the only African American, quite frankly, in this country. On Tuesday, I've got a grants workshop. If you want to learn how to write proposals and try to get money for your not-for-profit organization, whether it's from the state or whether it's from the government, the county government, or the federal government, that's going to be from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock Tuesday at the Malcolm X Learning Center at 4624 West Madison Street. So come on out and learn. We've got a big meeting that I'm going to be having with East West University. And then, of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving Day. Everybody Eats Chicago. That's going to be at Madison and Pulaski. And we got another Thanksgiving Day celebration out at the Second Baptist Church in Maywood, Illinois, that I'm going to in honor of Eugene Moore, who was the former state representative in that area, but he also was the former recorder of deeds for the county of Cook. And so we've just got all kind of stuff. And then next Friday, we have the West Side Reunion Holiday at the Garfield Park Conservatory. So it's just lots of good stuff going on. Well, now let me get back to the impeachment, because I know that there are a lot of people interested in and concerned about that. The impeachment hearings have been incredible. And it really means that our country is in a certain level of crisis. Of course, the state of Israel, the country of Israel, is having the same kind of stuff because they have just indicted their former prime minister, Netanyahu, who has been indicted. And that's a heavy drama in that country. There are charges and counter charges. There's political corruption all over the place, not only in our country, but in our state. We've had a real turmoil going on in the Illinois General Assembly, where the president of the Senate has announced that he is retiring. And so there's a fight, you can call it, but nobody's pulling out their oozes and that kind of thing. And we call these political wrestling matches fights, but it's really the time to select a new president of the Illinois Senate. And of course, my favorite for that is a woman named Kim Lightford. And as I usually say, I don't really talk a lot of partisan politics on this show. I talk hardly any at all. I don't campaign on this show. I don't do any of that. Of course, I'm not involved in voting to determine who might be the president of the Illinois Senate. But I can tell you, if I had a vote on this one, I'd be voting for Kimberly Lightford. I've known her since she was a very young trustee in the village of Maywood when she came out of college, ran for trustee, got elected, and then went to the Senate and has risen to be the number 2 person in the Illinois Senate. She is the majority leader, and I'm hoping that she's going to become the president. We'll see how that goes. But if you want to give us a call, 312-738-1060. We're going to be here for another 10 minutes, and so we've got an opportunity to respond and react to questions and inquiries that you may have. And, the job market generally increases during this time of year. And so if you're unemployed, know that there are places like Amazon, places like United Parcel, places that in retail where people are going to be buying and purchasing and spending money. And so if you're unemployed, there are places that you can seek. As a matter of fact, we have a job counselor and job developer in my office. His name is Raymond Guy. A part of his primary duty and responsibility is to try and help people when he can. There are individual offices and so forth that send us job notices. And sometimes we are able to make people aware of where opportunities are. Sometimes we're able to help people fill out application blanks and all those kind of things that you need to be able to do in order to get a job. A job promotes dignity. A job tells people that you are worth something and that you can do something. I also want to thank publicly those individuals who helped my wife and I celebrate our 50th anniversary of being married. We've had a good time, a wonderful time. I want to thank all of the people who came to the reception that was right down the street, right here at New Zion City. They have a beautiful banquet hall, and we were able to make use of it. And I must say it wasn't by happenstance. We deliberately made use of it because we decided if we were going to spend money to have a reception, there was no reason not to spend it with an African American institution in the community where the money could remain, some of it, at home. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Transformation Network. They have gotten their certification as a minority business enterprise. They are now selling food to the University of Illinois Hospital. And so if you go there and eat in their cafeteria or in their dining hall, and you eat some carrots or you eat some lettuce, it may very well have been grown by people right here in the neighborhood, in the community, who were able to package it, put it together, and sell it to the University of Illinois. So I want to congratulate the University of Illinois for giving this group of churches the opportunity to do some business with them. We must have the diversification of opportunity, and I'm pleased to mention that the University of Illinois is doing that. At some point, I'd like to I'm going to have them on our show so we can talk to some of the management there and let them tell us why they have agreed to do business with community ventures in the community. Money to a community is like blood to the body. It's my position that if all of the blood leaves your body, notwithstanding all of the tremendous health resources that we have, you are going to die. If too much of the blood is on one side of your body or in one place, it's not circulating properly, and you may have a blood clot, or you may have problems with circulation. Chances are you will die. If all of the money leaves a neighborhood or a community, that community will die. That neighborhood will die. If too much of it is in the hands of too few people, that neighborhood will get sick. They may not die, but it will get sick. And so we've got to make sure that when we talk about the communities where we live, that we've got to make sure that the resources circulate, that they move around from one place. The money has to circulate. It has to go from the barber shop to the beauty shop, from the beauty shop to the grocery store, from the grocery store to the bus driver, from the bus driver to the daycare center, from the daycare center to the school teacher. It has to keep flowing. And that's why we've got to make sure that our children keep growing. You know, much of my work is about children. It's about children because that's the assignment that I have as a member of the Ways and Means Committee and chairman of the Family and Worker Support Subcommittee. And so children, when I think of children, I think of Marvin Gaye, who penned the words that there will come a time when birds won't be singing. There will come a time when bells won't be ringing. But who will save the world? Who is willing to try? Who will save a world that is destined to die? Save the children. We are approaching the Yuletide. I am so glad that I had grandparents and a grandmother. I never knew one of my grandmothers, but I knew the other one. I never knew one of my grandfathers, but I knew the other one. And so Thanksgiving is a time, if you can, visit your family. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods my grandmother's cap I spy. Hooray for the fun is the pudding done. Hooray for the pumpkin pie. Visit with family. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.